And welcome to the Inland Sports TV show. My name is Pep Fernandez. It's Tuesday night at 6 o'clock, so you know where you need to be. It's right here watching your favorite show, talking about all the Inland Empire sports. Coming up later in the show, we're going to talk to former Heritage High School and BYU football star Sione Takitaki as he is getting prepared for the NFL draft. In fact, we talked to him last night as he was just about to go out to dinner with the LA Chargers. So he's doing some big things. So we'll talk to Sione Takitaki. We'll also bring you up to speed on all the high school baseball league championship races right now. It's getting really good in the Big 8 League. Some of the other leagues in too, including Vista Marietta and the Southwestern League. They have just wrapped things up. And we'll also talk a little Cbu softball at the end of this one. But we're going to lead things off with Jeff Gorham with the night off. We had to make room on the desk for these two guys. Two of my favorite guys, John Rice and Bill Powell, as we're starting to talk high school football already. It'll be here before you know it. You two guys know that more than anybody else, right? That high school football probably never really, I guess, settles down. Coach Rice, first off, congratulations on the new gig at Riverside Poly as the head coach. But
thank you.
Is there an off season? Maybe I should ask your wife. More importantly, is there an off season?
Off season is when she says there's an off season. But, no, I'm blessed. I'm blessed to have the job, and I'm lucky to have a family that supports me. And so, but it's just the way it is now. It's a year-round deal, and you try to have a great calendar that lets families be together in the summer and strategically plan your days off. But it's a 12-month-a-year deal now.
Now, you guys were both at Poly last year.
Right.
And now you're the head coach, but you kept this guy around. You want Bill Powell to stay on the staff, and he'll be like your right-hand man, right, through the whole thing.
Well, we're going to do it together, and we talked about doing this last year if we ever were fortunate enough to coach again, that we would like to do it together. And I don't really think the title's that important, is that we're working together to make Poly the best it can be. And when you coach for a long time, you really realize there's not a whole lot of times where you have staff chemistry and you get to coach with people that you like and respect. And Bill is one of those rare guys that I have a ton of respect and enjoy being with him when we're on the field. So that, to me, was a no-brainer.
And, Coach, you know, when I talk to you, like the last couple of years, you're like, you know, I love coaching. You know, I want to do a little bit here and there. I think, I don't know, what do they call it, consulting? I don't know what you were doing.
That was the initial plan.
But Coach Rice is just sucking you right back in now.
Well, you know, it's as our friendship and relationship has developed over the last 4 or 5 years, we found out that we got a lot in common. Our belief system is really similar in what we think is important. And it's been a great opportunity to work with him last year. And I'm excited for him and this opportunity for him. And I'm just here to help him in whatever way I can. You know, I've sat in that chair for a long time, so it's good to have somebody to bounce some ideas off of that's, you know, kind of been there before. So we, as he mentioned, are kind of doing it together, and we talk every day, multiple times, just about, you know, what we want to do and everything like that. But I'm really excited for John. He's one of the best, if not the best, football coaches I've been around, but more importantly, he's great for kids, and he's got a real heart for kids, and I think that's going to show, and it already is, in the short time that he's been the head guy at Poly. So.
Now, Derek DeWitt's an outstanding man, and he laid the foundation for a lot of good things at Riverside Poly. Coach Rice, do you feel like the Bears are at least trending up right now, going in the right direction as you get ready for another season?
Absolutely. The energy and the buzz is already started, and I think that's a credit to what Coach DeWitt started with his relationship with the players. The kids just are chomping at the bit. They're chomping at the bit. The community is chomping at the bit, and they want to go 100 miles an hour. And we're lucky to have families and players and community members that are proud to be Poly people, and that school is the flagship program in Riverside, and it's been there for over 100 years. And so there are a lot of people that live in Riverside that want to see Poly football make a resurgence.
But you were at North. Does this kind of sound weird to say that sometimes?
You know what? I was absolutely blessed to be at North and work for some wonderful, wonderful people. It's a chapter in your life where I really believe God leads me around, and I have to be in tune with that. And He opened that door, and I was there and built relationships with people. And He closed that door, and He opened another one at Bosco, and then He opened the door here at Poly. So I don't find that, I don't let that bother me. I just kind of go where I'm led and try to be open to being led. And I couldn't have chosen this kind of outcome for me with my kids being at Poly and having a chance to coach with Bill. So to me, it's a blessing, and I'm looking forward. And I think everything that you go through you are prepared for the next opportunity. And so that's kind of where I'm at. I think everything I've done in 35 years has kind of led to this point where I've been humbled, I've been teachable, I've learned there's more than one way to do things. I learned you got to love kids, you got to include people, you have to listen. And so I think all that right now is kind of pointing to the best that I can give Poly to make it a great place to be and a blessing.
Now, before I go back to Coach Powell in a second, I do want to ask you about Bosco. What are some things that you picked up just being part of that St. John Bosco program along the way that you might implement, or things that, kind of, I guess you pick up little things in different places you go to, right, that you put in your own program?
We talked about that at the parent meeting, and it was the common themes that run through championship programs, and timing is everything. And there are plenty of great coaches who have never had the opportunity to be a state champ. I was just lucky enough to be at 3 of them. 3 of the programs, Louisville, Trinity, and Denver, Bear Creek, and Bosco. So what we talked about was the common themes that run through those, and one of them is that commitment meets expectation in the community and on the staff and with players. Another one is that team comes first. Another one is that people have an integrity, and that you teach integrity, you teach standards and not rules, work ethic, competitiveness, coaching to the heart of somebody rather than in a negative way. So we reviewed those with the parents and the players, and they're all for it. So one thing I learned is that there's more than one way to skin a cat, and what may work at one school may not work at the other. So it teaches me to be a little more open-minded and be ready to be flexible.
And Coach Powell, I mean, you still look good in orange over there. Obviously a longtime San Jacinto coach. And, how have you maybe changed as a head coach, to this point where we are?
Well, I tell you what, since the last time I held that role, I've spent that time trying to learn and as much as I can and get out and talk with different coaches. And, the game has changed. Kids have changed. When I first started, would be my 34th year coming up. And, I got an opportunity to go with John to Bosco and be around guys like him. And, it's no accident that Coach Rice has been on 3 state championship teams. I mean, he's a humble guy. He's not ever going to admit that. But the guy's a great football coach. And just with John, for example, I've never seen anybody be more prepared for every situation in a football game that John is. I mean, he's fanatical about it. I mean, it's who he is. And just things like that you pick up. Again, to piggyback what he said, I'm learning that there is more than one way to do things. I've been fortunate and been blessed to have some really good offensive coaches that coach for me at San Jacinto. Bobby Stengel, Rich McClure, who's doing a great job over at San G. The existing coach at San Jacinto, Eric Galeano, who's doing a really good job at San Jacinto, and obviously they do great things on offense. So I was blessed to have those guys on my staff, so I got to learn a lot from all of them. And I think, I was obviously blessed. Most of my staff was together with me for 14 years, so it's been kind of unique for me to kind of branch out a little bit and get a different perspective on things, which I feel like has made me, I hope, better. And it's just been a good fit with John and I philosophically about the things that he wants done with the program. We're on the same page on. So, we're going to look at what we think fits best for this group of kids we have at Poly. It might not necessarily be what we did last year, but we're, we're looking at that right now. And you just got to continue to grow and learn and embrace change and know that this is where you're put. We laugh about it all the time. Neither one of us can figure out why we're at Poly, especially me. It's a 47-mile drive one way for me to get there. And we laugh about it all the time, but I'm there and I'm going back. So, big guy upstairs, I think he's got a big
got a plan
part
for
of this.
you, right?
Absolutely.
What can I put you guys on the spot? What's your non-league schedule? Do you know what it looks like next year for Poly?
Sure do.
Yeah, we'll open up with Corona, and then we play Bonita, who Coach Bogan is doing a great job, just a fantastic job, and then we're playing King, Ramona, and Citrus, and so that's a challenging schedule for us, and I've always felt to be the best, you got to play the best, and so we've got to prepare, and really you have to be playing by the end of the season. You don't need to peak in week 1, but you need to get better every week, identify your weaknesses, make corrections, find the right personnel mixes, kind of perfect the new staff coaching together. All those things fall into place. Yeah. But I think we have a challenging non-league schedule.
Yeah, you got the rivalry games in there too. You got King, you got Ramona in there. Citrus Hill's never easy, so that's a good
Coach
challenge.
Coach is going to continue a great job over there. We know that.
That's your buddy, right?
He's going to do a great job.
He's going to do a great job there.
Great job there.
Yeah, so.
I feel like Poly is right there on the cusp of just having that breakout season to when was the last time when it was like the Keely Ross Chandler Drake Slim team not too long ago?
Yeah, but Brown's team that played Rev in the finals. Yeah.
Exactly. So I feel like Poly's just on the verge. Do you feel like the same way that they're competing for league titles, which they were in the mix last year. You guys were in the mix. The league titles, the playoff spots, all those things. You feel like you're close. You feel like you're almost there.
I think we talked to our parents and our players about doing the right things and kind of improving the culture, and I think that will come. I think winning at a high level will come as a product and a result of doing those things. So we want to win every game. We want to go out there and get better, but we're focused on long term, and when we interviewed for this job, I was really adamant that I wanted to make long-term decisions and not be forced to make short-term decisions, because I really think it takes time to anytime you have a coaching change, to change culture, expectations. And so I really think we're going to be very successful. The administration is very supportive, and they know that we need a little bit of time. But we're going to go out, and we've made a great change already in the work ethic and the attitude, and I think we're going to have a great year. But I do think the best years are ahead of us, for sure.
Yeah, Jim Vaughn's a great guy over there, the athletic director at Riverside Poly, so he's a great guy. I am a little disappointed. I don't see any peach cobbler here tonight.
Coach Stauffer.
Coach Powell loves the bake.
Yeah, Coach Stauffer put me on blast about that, too. He said, if you're coming over and bringing it for Pep, then can you give me some, too? But,
he wanted some. He started to piggyback on it.
I had, what can I say? I had a busy day. We hosted the Special Olympics today. We had a golf
You got to get a rain check for that.
I'll get you on
a rain check.
Invite us back, and you'll get the magic bars and the peach cobbler, Pep. How about that?
It's a deal. You don't have to ask me twice. Yeah. But you're doing golf, too?
Yeah, I'm helping out.
Okay.
No, I'm actually, they were in need of a coach at the last minute, and when your wife is one of the bosses, you kind of just, as John said, say,
Si, senora.
Yes, ma'am.
Si, senora.
I'm kidding. That's not really, but they needed somebody, and I told them that I would help out. I've done it previously for like 12, 14 years, helping out. So having a lot of fun with that. The kids are great. It's not a bad gig, being a high school golf coach.
It'd be worse than being on a golf course, right?
Yeah, there's a lot worse. So it's been fun. But, so I hustled up. We actually had a match today in Menifee, so I hustled over there. But, I anticipated some kind of comment about the peach cobbler thing. I'll take care of you next time. All right. Absolutely.
All right, guys, finally, what's next? Spring ball, 7-on-7. What do you guys kind of do the next couple months going into the summer? And before you know it, it'll be week 0 in August.
Yeah. We have a calendar planned out from April to November, and we're going to start our spring ball May 3rd or May 1st on a Wednesday, go about 15 days in May. We have about 3 7-on-7s. We're going to go play our friend Jeff Steinberg and Scott Morrison, who are both friends of ours. So I think one of the big changes then in the past is we're going to be competing in the spring and working on competition with some 7-on-7 and some lineman competition. So, and then June, we have our dead period in the middle of June, and then we have the whole month of July to have our summer practice. So we'll be ready to go. I mean, we're missing 3 months of practice. We can never get that back. We got hired a little bit late. So we have a sense of urgency, and we've kind of communicated that to the kids, and so far they've really embraced that.
Yeah. We don't play week 0, so we actually have another week. Which
do you play 10 straight weeks?
Yes, for this particular situation with the timing of the hire and everything, and being somewhat behind, even though the kids are doing a great job so far in the limited time that we've been there to kind of really get up to speed, and they're working really hard. That extra week probably will help. This year. Now, John, I know is going to have a lot of say-so with the schedule moving forward, and we're on the second year of a lot of our non-league situations. So, and then depending on what the conference does,
next year could look a lot different.
Much different because the actual conference could look different because I think it's after the 2-year cycle they're going to make adjustments with the whole rain cross situation. Plus, we have some 2-year contracts that are coming up in our non-league. So Whether we move to a 0 week or whatever, that'll be something that John will decide. But this year, I think it might be a little bit to our advantage that we don't.
Yeah.
We're also going to host a scrimmage this year, which I think is going to be good.
Oh, that's good.
So
that scrimmage that'll be the week of week 0.
Yeah, we're gonna do it on a Thursday, I believe. Coach, correct me if I'm wrong.
We're gonna host Hesperia, and we're gonna try to get 2 more teams.
So
and on Friday night you'll watch a game, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and we just want to make sure we get officials, and it's difficult week 0 on a Friday night to get, a couple crews that want to get work. So I know that we'll have some people that want to come out and get a little tune-up before they actually start on Friday night. So, the bottom line is he's put together a really good group of coaches, and, John's got a vision for where he wants this thing to go, and we're here to help him. And, we're off to a good start. And nobody's going to be more passionate about what he does than John. He's really happy about being there. I think this is a dream job for him. His kids are there. His son's going to be a freshman in our program. He's got a younger daughter who's going to go through Poly, and one more daughter that's going to graduate this year, and then another one. So, for him and his family, he's 10 minutes away.
Poly family now.
Family.
It's a great situation for him, and we're just going to try not to screw it up, try to help him.
One thing I think that the Trinity League does a really good job of is that they all have week 5 off. They all play 0, and then they go 5 games.
Right before league, right? Right before that.
And you need
that gauntlet.
Recharge your team.
Yeah, especially for the Trinity League.
You got to work, and it's really good. I had that scheduled at North one year, and you really get a time to rest, get some guys healed up. Let some of the coaches and players, go a little bit earlier, kind of get, regather yourself, and I think that's, something we want to try to shoot for in the future.
That was a good situation for us. I did it every year that, I had the opportunity where I was at too, and he said it a lot better than I could. It was just it's a grind, and you go from June, and it's a nice. You're limited in what you can do in the week. You still get with your kids, but it's a nice time where you're maybe not grinding as much, and you get a little family time in the middle. And it's John's big on family, and
and so are you.
I am.
Oh, yeah.
I am. Family always has and always will come first, and it always came first with my coaches, and I know John feels that way too. So it's a nice little break. But our schedule is what it is, and we'll play it out. And then looking forward. John will work with the administration over there. We've got a new principal, so it's gonna
Dr. Rowe's not there anymore?
Oops. No, he's not.
He got blessed to get an offer to work with the County Office of Education.
Daryl Hansen is going to be the new principal.
And so,
so you can't go wrong with that. Daryl either.
Yeah, we're looking forward to working together.
Good guy. He's a great guy, and he obviously is a, sports baseball guy, football guy.
Yeah.
He was a king and everything like that, and I had an opportunity.
I know he's big on that Poly King rivalry too. So maybe
it is. I mean, it's a huge rivalry, and then I think there's a split because there's some people and some kids, they kind of look to North, and a lot of the established Poly people look to King, and that's fine because anything you need to get fired up for the game is fine. Yeah. But in the end, you got to get it done between the lines. When all that bluster is done, you got to play football.
I think any time you play a team within your own city, we play Ramona as well.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a big one.
So
it's good for football. It's good for Riverside.
Doing a great job over there. So that's as big a game as we're going to play in the non-league schedule too. So.
Yep, good for Riverside.
Yeah, Coach, is that your state championship ring or one of them? Is that the Bosco?
Yes,
that's
that is huge.
Yeah. Being in the right place at the right time is timing is everything, and so. I was telling the kids and the parents, I've been at the top of the mountain and I've been at the bottom. I've coached up at 8,000 feet in the Rocky Mountains in a little town called Central City where there's a blizzard and there's 20 people in the stands and 10 of them are coaches' wives and 10 are parents that could get there. Yeah. And then next year I was blessed to coach in front of 37,000 people in not even a state championship game, in a rivalry game. So you learn to appreciate and understand how blessed you are when timing comes along, because there are plenty of great coaches, just great coaches and families and administrations who work hard, and for whatever reason it doesn't all come together. So really learn to appreciate the good times and the people that you work with, and when situations where everybody works together and you have a successful season.
Well, I'm not trying to put the cart before the horse, but maybe we'll see one of those in Poly colors someday.
You never know.
One step at a time.
One step at a time. Yeah.
All right, Coach Powell, Coach Rice, two of our favorite guys here. We appreciate the time. Thank you for
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
And I will hold you to the peach cobbler.
I know you will.
How about apple cobbler? Can you make some of that?
Or both. I mean,
I'll eat the apple cobbler.
Okay, well, yeah, okay. Whatever. Hey, I'm going to take care of Pep first.
Yeah. You listen, Coach Stoffer, he's going to take me first.
Yeah.
So me first,
well,
and then you.
Stoffer can wait. I'll tell you that. I can bring that in anytime. I'll take care of you, though, Pep. You always take good care of us, so appreciate you having us on.
Thanks for having
us. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. When we come back, you'll hear our exclusive interview with former Heritage star Sione Takitaki. We'll be back on the Inland Sports Show.
What's going on, guys? This is Ray Bass from Boost Performance Training. You're watching the Inland Sports Show with the one and only Pep Fernandez.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. And Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
Focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. Just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. Come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports TV show. Jeff Gorham has the night off. Big thanks to Bill Powell and John Rice, Riverside Poly football. As we get closer to football season, I know August seems like a long ways away. We will be talking a lot more high school football and inviting coaches and players into the studio as we get ready for the upcoming season, because spring football is here. If you go on Twitter and social media, a lot of teams are already out there practicing and getting ready to ramp up the 7-on-7 schedule, the passing leagues, the passing tournaments. But next week, as we go from high school football and transition, we pivot over to the NFL. We've got local guys getting ready for the NFL draft. There's a handful of guys. Alexander Madison, the pride of Cardinal City, USA, the running back out of Boise State. He's going to be drafted. Nate Metters out of UCLA and San Gorgonio. He could have his name called on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday as we get ready for the NFL draft. And also Sione Takitaki out of Heritage High School. Just wrapped up a fantastic career with the BYU Cougars. Last night we had a chance to interview Sione as he was getting ready to go out to dinner with the LA Chargers. A lot of teams taking notice of Sione after a big NFL combine. Now, he was great on the field. Put him in a helmet and pads. He's fantastic, but he really showed out at the NFL combine too. Those measurables, like all the draft experts and the GMs and the NFL brass like to see. He really showed out. So here's our interview with former Heritage High School star Sione Takitaki. And now join us on the one and only Inland Sports Show. Man, he has been one of our favorites for a long, long time. Of course, we love Heritage football, and he's been one of their biggest stars. Sione Takitaki, who's preparing for the NFL draft after such a great career at BYU and, of course, at Heritage as well. Sione, what's it like walking around in your shoes right now with all the excitement as you prepare for the NFL draft? And your life's going to change in a great way pretty soon, man.
Yeah, it feels good, man. I won't lie. Definitely feels good. Feels like all the hard work is, gonna pay off. But it's just a start, man. So can't get too comfy. But I'm definitely enjoying this whole process, and it feels good.
So, take me back, 6, 7, 8 years ago. You're running around Romo Land, the Menifee area, playing for Coach Broach. I mean, did you ever think you were going to be in this spot, or was this kind of always the goal for you?
Yeah, this has always been the goal. Definitely, I do remember running around Menifee, Paris, and being at Heritage and being over there with Coach Broach and all my dudes over there. But yeah, I always knew that this time would come if I continue to work hard and continue to put in the work. And it's kind of crazy to think back on it, but yeah.
So talk about coming out of the NFL Combine, because, the draft experts, on all the television shows, they like to pick a couple guys who really just stood out. And I kept hearing your name, Sione, over and over. What do you think you did at the Combine that really just grabbed everyone's attention? I mean, it really put you on the map.
Yeah, I feel like I just did better than what people were thought. Just me playing true D in 2017 and then moving up to stack linebacker 2018. I feel like people thought I could be a little slower or not move too fluent out there, and I feel like I just proved them wrong, and I feel like that's kind of stuck out, and that's why they kind of kept talking about me, and my name kept popping up.
So at the next level in the NFL, I mean, where do you kind of see yourself playing? Are you one of these hybrid outside linebacker, defensive end? I mean, where do you see yourself playing?
Yeah, I feel like kind of the hybrid position. I know when I went to the Dolphins last week, they kind of run a similar scheme to New England Patriots with Calvin Oy over there in Hightower, and so some of those two guys kind of would be blitzing off the edge and holding the edge here and there, and sometimes they're playing stack linebacker and dropping in the zones or carrying guys into man. But I feel like it can go either or. There is some teams that are looking at me just for exactly Mike or Will, but I feel like having that hybrid and that versatility kind of definitely helped me out.
So between, the Combine and Pro Day, and I know you're visiting a bunch of NFL teams, is it just a crazy time right now?
It is. Actually right now, in the next 30 minutes, I'll be going to dinner with the Chargers coaches. So I'm out here in Santa Ana, I guess, or Irvine, where their facility that they're using temporarily is, and I'm visiting with the Chargers, tonight and tomorrow morning. But it's kind of a crazy process. You're flying all around, visiting all these teams, seeing if you're the right fit for them, and so I would say definitely it is a crazy time, but I'm going to enjoy it. It only happens once.
So, Sione, what are your draft plans? Like, are you going to be at home watching it? Are you going to go to a restaurant? Do you want no one to bug you? You want to be alone? I mean, what are you going to do once the draft starts on that Thursday night and it runs through Saturday? What do you think you're going to be doing?
Yeah, it's still up in the air right now. My wife definitely wants to throw a party for me. My family definitely want to, all get together. I'm more of kind of a to-myself guy. I kind of want to be by myself and just kind of enjoy that moment and be kind of low-key. But we'll see how it is, man. I'll definitely shoot you a text if how the plans, unfold in these next couple of days. I'll definitely find out.
Yeah, if you're rolling deep in Menifee or Paris or Romo land, man, I'm down there. I'm just waiting for the invite.
I'll let you know, man. I'll definitely let you know, okay?
Hey, and Sione, finally, a lot of guys, as they get ready to go to the NFL, they always get the question of, who is your favorite team as a child, as a young kid? Did you ever have a favorite NFL team or a favorite NFL player when you were growing up?
Yeah, I definitely liked the 49ers, growing up, because, my whole family were all Niner fans. So I definitely kind of, kept a close eye on them. But to be honest, I always rooted for all the California teams, obviously because I'm from California. But I never really had a favorite team. I never really watched NFL as much. I was always a big college guy. But yeah, if I had to, if growing up I had to root for one, it would be the 49ers.
Well, Sione, we appreciate the time, man. Best of luck. I know there's a lot of people in the Inland Empire. They've been following your career. They're very excited for you. And, man, it's going to be very exciting come the draft. Big things are happening.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me. And always a kid from IE, baby.
All right, that's Sione Takitaki, Heritage High School product, just capping off a fantastic career at BYU and soon-to-be NFL player. Thanks for the time, Sione. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Inland Sports. The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. And Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
What's going on, guys? Coach Bass here from Boost Training. We have a number of different options to help athletes develop here at the BPC, whether it's our off-season strength programming, or it's our general sessions, and even our one-on-one training sessions with either myself or one of our coaches here. So if you need that detailed coaching, book your one-on-one session today. Please feel free to contact me directly on Instagram at Boost Training, or on Twitter, Boost_Training, or contact me directly here at the gym. Our number is 951-532-4904.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports TV show. Again, thanks to Sione Takitaki. Very busy right now, going from NFL team to NFL team, meeting with them as we get ready for the NFL draft, which begins next Thursday, and then Friday, and into Saturday. And Sione Takitaki, he's going to hear his name called at some point during the NFL draft. Now we switch gears to high school baseball right now. We got, this week and the next week, and that'll wrap up the regular season. So these league title races are coming down to the wire. Some of these leagues. One of them, and it's always ultra competitive, The land of the Big Eight. We've got Corona and Norco tied for first place right now. Corona's coming off a big win against King High School, which King, Steve Madrill, and the Wolves are still on the heels of not only Norco, the Cougars, but also the Corona Panthers. We had a chance to catch up with head coach Andy Wise of the Corona Panthers, one of our favorite dudes. And here's what Coach Wise had to say about this group. He really likes this group, and they are continuing to get better. Here's Coach Wise.
Once again, this is a group that doesn't get overly excited, but they never get too down. It worries me sometimes, but you can see how it's been going. They keep rising up when it's really necessary, so good for them. And once again, I just told them I'm really excited about the rest. I was excited anyway about the rest of the year, but today was real fun to watch our guy go out and do that. And there's great energy in the dugout. I don't expect that to change over the next couple weeks.
Inland Sports. So Rumpel, Snakeskin III, and the Panthers going strong right now, tied for first place in the land of the Big Eight. Let's go ahead and punch up those Big Eight league standings as we headed into Tuesday. And this is how it looked. Corona and Norco tied for first place in the Big Eight. There's King. They all have 4 losses. And then there's Santiago. They're hanging out there at 5-5. So still a lot can happen. And congratulations going out to Centennial head coach George Wise, a new baby in the family. So congratulations to the Wise family. But yeah, that's how the Big Eight league looks right now. And it's still a lot to be decided in these last couple of games. But in the Southwestern League, Vista Marietta is your Southwestern League champion. The Broncos clinched at least a share of the Southwestern League title with a 6-3 win against Chaparral on Monday. So one more win by Vista Marietta, and they will lock up the outright Southwestern League title. But great job by the Broncos getting at least a share of that Southwestern crown. Now in the River Valley League, La Sierra was trying to track down Ramona. Ramona is still on top in the River Valley League because of, well, we'll get to it, but look at this play. So this was the county clash at San Manuel Stadium, and that's Darren Hunter for the Eagles. Roping this ball into the right field corner. Darren Hunter with a 2-run double. It's a walk-off win for La Sierra, 5-4 against Ramona. So that night at the county clash at San Manuel Stadium, we thought we had a tie for first place in the River Valley League, but come to find out, Ramona petitioned a game won by La Sierra. So La Sierra won. Ramona petitioned because the pitcher for La Sierra, the pitch count was too high. He threw too many pitches, and Ramona won the petition. So Ramona gets the win, although La Sierra won the game on the field. So anyways, any way you slice it, let's go to the River Valley League baseball standings because, yes, Ramona is in first place right now, ahead of not only La Sierra, but also Hillcrest. So Ramona's at 8-2-1, La Sierra and Hillcrest both at 6-4, followed by Supa Dupa Harupa Valley, Patriot, and Norte Vista. So right now Ramona holding on to that lead as we come into the final basically week. We got the rest of this week and then a couple days next week in River Valley League play. Now this game was not a league game, but it was a fantastic one. It's always a rivalry game when Notre Dame and Aquinas get together, the Titans and the Falcons hooking up at the county clash at San Manuel Stadium this past Friday. They were in extra innings. It was scoreless, 0-0 in the 8th inning when this happened.
Hernandez on second. Martinez delivers the hit down the left field line. Here comes Hernandez, and this will be the game-winning run. Hernandez slides in head first, and it's a walk-off win for Notre Dame. 1-0 in 8 innings as Collazo rips one down the left field line right past the third base bag, and that will do it. Notre Dame with a 1-zip win against Aquinas.
So it was Morel Collazo with a game winner for Notre Dame as they beat Aquinas at the county clash. Again, not a league game, but it's the Holy War, baseball edition. So it was a lot of fun to see those two teams out there battling on the baseball diamond. Softball. Now, we never thought we'd see the day. Now, we know Aquinas softball is undefeated, but Norco softball lost their first game of the season. Again, we didn't think we were going to see the day. It was Santiago Santiago handing Norco their first loss. It came in Big 8 league play. Norco, though, still with that kung fu grip on first place in the Big 8 league. So let's take a look at those Big 8 league softball standings, because Norco is running away with it, but take a look at the rest of the league. There's a log jam in the middle. Roosevelt, Santiago, Centennial, still a lot to be played for. And there's Norco, 24-1 overall on the season, 6-1 in the land of the Big 8. So they are still the clear-cut favorite, not to only just win the Big 8 league, but to win the CIF Southern Section Division I title. So, but we'll see how the rest of the Big 8 league is going to play out in these last couple of weeks. All right, when we come back here on the Inland Sports Show, we're going to wrap things up. We're going to talk a little California Baptist softball. And if you didn't hear, CBU has a basketball player getting ready for the NBA draft. We'll be back on the Inland Sports Show.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. And Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
What's going on, guys? Coach Bass here from Boost Training. Letting you know, if you haven't already, check out my new series of videos called 2 cents in 20 seconds, where I'll be talking about everything from strength training, motivation, and everything in between. You can find it on our social media platforms, on Instagram at Boost Training, on Facebook, search for Boost Training, or on Twitter, Boost_Training. Check it out.
Get better, ready to fire, and I think that's paying off. We're definitely getting better by the week. So.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports TV show. Wrapping things up here at Teen Vision TV 16. You know, actually Johnny's back there. We've done a lot of stuff with Teen Vision the last 4 or 5 years, and finally made our home here. And we couldn't thank these guys enough. Anthony Trujillo back there pushing all the buttons and making things happen. So we appreciate it. We're going to wrap things up tonight, though, talking a little CBU basketball. We did the show last week live at San Manuel Stadium, so I don't know if a lot of you caught this, but CBU basketball star Milan Aqua has declared for the NBA draft. And Anthony, we got some highlights of Milan. You can play that whenever. Milan Aqua came off a huge season at CBU. Remember, he was a transfer from Washington State, so he was a Pac-12 guy. But he transferred to CBU. He popped off this year, helping CBU usher in that first season in Division I. And in every single game, he was basically the best player on the court in every single game. So it's pretty cool that California Baptist has a player that's at the caliber of Milan Aqua, who's thinking about the NBA draft. Now, it kind of stinks for the Lancers because obviously they want him back. But, man, I think it just speaks volumes of where the CBU basketball program is. They're bringing in guys who are, you know, on the verge of making it to the NBA, and they were so good in their first year in Division I, led by Milan Aqua. Now, here's the caveat, though. Milan Aqua did not sign with an agent yet. So there is a deadline before the NBA draft, so he has a chance to reverse his decision and go back to school if he does not have an agent. So, you know, Milan Aqua has declared for the NBA draft, but it's not quite a done deal. Now, is he set on turning pro? That might be the case, but the door is still a little bit open for Milan Aqua to come back to CBU if he chooses to. But that's very exciting for Milan and also very exciting for the CBU basketball program. All right, now talking a little CBU and UC Riverside softball, and what a game we had. In fact, we got highlights of this one as well. Go ahead and play those. UCR and CBU going head-to-head in the crosstown showdown. Softball edition. Low scoring. Not a lot of hits, not a lot of offense, but that's okay because, you know, we like great pitching and, you know, moving runners into scoring position and that whole deal. But it was UC Riverside coming away with a 3-2 victory against California Baptist. So it's just another reason that people are excited about this rivalry between CBU and UCR. We've seen it in baseball, soccer, basketball. It's translating on all these different fields. And then in softball that night, they played at the Funk Stadium at CBU, and it was UCR winning by a score of 3-2. But again, this is more so just saying, hey, we're excited about the crosstown showdown. We like the two schools going head-to-head, this friendly rivalry. We're into it here on the Inland Sports Show, and it's a great game. Two great teams going head-to-head. We had a chance to talk to head coach Bill Baber, because CBU, after that UCR game, they hosted New Mexico State, and it was a milestone that weekend for CBU this past weekend as they took the series from New Mexico State. They took 2 out of 3 games from the Aggies, and that marked the first ever WAC series win for CBU softball. So we had a chance to hear from Coach Bill Baber about the team getting that first series win in WAC play against New Mexico State, who is traditionally very, very good. So here is Coach Baber.
Inland Sports. Come home and take 2 from a really good New Mexico and heralded New Mexico State program.
Yeah, very good program they are, and everything they've done in this conference to get our first win against them is fantastic. And you're right, it's been very frustrating for us as a team to get that first win, and we just can't get one of them on Saturday to get the series win. And but I handed to these players that never gave up. They didn't quit. We just kept saying, hey, look, you just got to keep fighting. Got to keep fighting. It's going to happen. So many times we came so close in one of those games to get a series, and ball didn't bounce our way, or we did one little thing wrong and we lose the game. So I really handed those players to keep fighting like they did and not give up.
So that's Coach Bill Baber talking about their big series win against New Mexico State. The first of, I would assume, many coming up for California Baptist softball. And finally tonight, the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame, their induction ceremony is coming up. You don't want to miss it. I think we have a graphic here for the Hall of Fame that we want to punch up because there is still time if you would like to buy tickets, you'd like to purchase an entire table, maybe for your group, or that's the basketball camps, or the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame. The website is riversidesporthalloffame.com. Check it out. Get your tickets, get your table, and you can even get sponsorship. So I know they'd love to hear from you as we support the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame. There's other Hall of Fames out there, but there's only one Riverside Sport Hall of Fame. It's been around a long, long time, and there's a lot of big names behind it. So we appreciate what they're doing over there with Jerry Hurley and the rest of the executive team. My name's Pep Fernandez. We'll see you next time on the Inland Sports Show, live from Val Verde Teen Vision TV 16.